Good morning, Chevra. Today is Chaf Dalid Sivan. That's the 24th day of the month of Sivan. Today is a beautiful Friday morning. Tonight is Shabbos. So get ready for Shabbos and don't forget to wish each other a wonderful Shabbos. Okay, we're on page 81 of the Chayenu, continuing this long chapter 7 of Shara Yichud Ve'emunah. Now the Alter Rebbe starts to talk about this encompassing divine energy that encompasses all the worlds. And he clarifies immediately, and he says this does not mean to say chas v'shalom that Hashem is not found within the worlds and just encompasses them. If you say Seviv Kalaman, then Hashem surrounds the worlds, and maybe he's not in the world. When a person thinks about a particular subject, like, okay, later on, I got to go to Costco, I got to pick up some this and that, and if I get back on time, so you make a calculation in your mind. You're thinking about the thing. Your mind is surrounding the idea, but you're not in it. You're not there. So what then? Azai sichleb machshavte makifim al hadavar hahu hametzuyor al hadavar hametzuyor b'machshavte oy b'sichle. Then his intellect and thought encompass the subject, and the image is formed within his mind. So his mind and his thoughts are surrounding this idea of whatever he's thinking of. But the intellect does not encompass that subject in actual fact. It's just like in your mind. It's almost like in your imagination. The encompassed image, but it's not the actual thing. When one envisions a table, the actual physical table is not in the brain. It's just an image in his brain. When it comes to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Hashem's thoughts are not like our thoughts. When God thinks of something, it's actually there. But he doesn't have to think, he doesn't have a brain to think. But I mean, figuratively speaking, whatever that means. Imagine if we could think of something and then it becomes actualized. That's the thing. And I'm not talking about a mathematical calculation. We're talking about an actual item. Boom, I'm going to think of this. Boom. No. That's what David is able to do. His thoughts and knowledge of all created beings encompass each creature. He brings everything into existence by just thinking about it. So it's very different than man's thoughts. So we talked about this idea of this, surrounding divine energy. It's like we're thinking about something. But then, of course, the Eibusher permeates the entire world, every aspect of the world, every single minor detail. That is the life force that becomes enclosed, meaning internalized within the essence of the created beings. So what happens? It's powerfully contracted. Hashem's light is contracted within it according to the nature of the created beings, which is finite and limited in quality and quantity, meaning its significance and importance. Let's take the sun for an example. The sun's body is infinite. The sun's body is finite and limited quantitatively, even though it's massive compared to the earth, but it's still not forever, right? It could be measured. It's approximately 167 times the size of the globe of the earth. Even though it is absolutely ginormous, massive compared to the earth, but it's limited. It cannot illuminate more than it's capable of illuminating. Likewise, all created things are finite and limited. Or from the earth to heaven is a journey of 500 years, and so on. From one heaven to another is a distance of 500 years. It's interesting, they say, how did we discover which mushrooms are poison? Steve, back in the day, there were certain people, they tasted that mushroom, and the people who survived found out that you don't eat those. So whoever was the first one to travel to the sun, right? I'm sorry, from the earth to the heaven, not the sun. The earth to the heaven is a journey of 500 years. So now we know it took 500 years for the guy to get up there. So since created beings are finite and limited, the life force which is invested in them is generally greater and powerfully contracted. I wonder, Steve, this was written 250 years ago, well before any electricity, right? And before nuclear energy and power and everything else. So then, if you would have to go with a horse and buggy to the heavens, it would take 500 years. But today, it could be 15 minutes. So therefore, Steve, when it would seem out of worldly and impossible for all the Jewish people to travel to Eretz Yisrael when Mashiach comes and to let everyone know that Mashiach is here, how are you going to let everyone know before you had cell phones, before you had internet? How are you going to let everyone know? You're going to have to send people by horseback riders and trains. Maybe they had trains, locomotives with the charcoal, the guy standing on the thing, putting the thing in the, right? You had certain ways and modes of transportation, but it would take weeks and weeks and weeks and months to let everybody know that Mashiach came. But today, one click of a button, you push the button, the same sirens that are telling everyone to go into bomb shelters, could be the same sirens program to announce that Mashiach is here. Right, Zev? May it be very soon. Amen. Yitzricha tchila lisamseim tzimtzumim rabim atzumim ad sheisava mikoicha va'oira etzem anivroim k'mois sheheim balik vovatachis. This godly light, the energy that goes into every single little living thing and non-living thing, first undergoes numerous and powerful contractions until created beings by nature, finite and limited, could be brought into existence from its power and light. Only after this process will the limitless life force be able to invest itself within the finite created beings and become united with them, as will soon be explained. For more on that, come back tomorrow. The takeaway for today, Chavra, your imagination. When you imagine things, those thoughts are figments of your imagination. However, when Hashem creates things, that gives them life and constant life. All right. Have a good day and a good Shabbos.